You know, I Chawazan Kama Queen Beko Sibele that will Yamazalakan Makosama Kulishim Shamzuma Black Valova and Lasnabun Con Zawak and Mambo Shevashe Lisedi Hanya Chovel Ralocha Obelan Mogi Gidineo Babanchi Mamoziba Lensans and Gambantin over to her several lands and Mara was one Yanoa by Nimo Girama Lepes to some Kimokaranga Gimuchano Aboma Vosa Shavala, Abom Shang about to Malama Vosa. Abomwa. It in Ganyas Detive, a damn Summon and Free. Lavabaka Salbom, Kefete. Long sword, long move. Long one. Mina Stabasil too. Yating Sapegin Jalo. What's in Amako Sinko Sapisa Solasana, you miss Nothing happening, Ganjalo. That's what I mean. And plenty everything, plenty. Yati Rakesh ni Nomdia, Ozalu Mamu Mamuzala Mina Kobo. Salwa the Sifes Samakaranga Queen man. Oh, yes, yeah. Yabona Messisho Ganjalo, because I always say to people, when I speak, I don't know what I'm saying. I get surprised, and it's so profound for me too, as much as it is for those who are listening to what I'm saying. Because Isolo, I was doing an interview with SABC2 about heritage. And I think the expectation was I was going to talk about the clothes and how beautiful and bright our clothes are, but our heritage goes bigger than that. What we are wearing here is an expression, but that's not the essence of who we are. Because who we are was evoked today by this music and the drumming. Because some of us can be ourselves right now because something evoked within us. And that's what drumming and music does, because for us as African people, spirituality is not something that we need to be studying. We need to go inward to understand what it means. And ingoma, ivusungoma, ivusolele. And that's the power of music and drumming. Because drumming is sound, sound is energy, and who is energy? Energy is umbelingangu nkulunkulu mdali Thixo ramasebi liseli khanya the sun. You know, when uceli angiceli ukuthi we're gonna say go and Gogo Dineo, and I said really, let's just not say it, let's let spirit lead us, you know. And minavele, when there's song and there's music, I become more myself, because I feel like the spirit in me becomes present and my ego dies off, because egotistically I would be like, yo man, I didn't prepare a speech, what am I supposed to? I said to her, what do you want me to say? And said, just say what you need to say. So I'm going to say what my people are wanting me to say. And some of the things I always say, I know they provoke people, but I like that, because you've been sitting too long in your comfort zone. It's time you step out of it. I'm going to say things and they might not make sense, but they're going to plant seeds. They might not manifest today, but I know some of you are sitting, questioning and wondering. Remember, who you are is not Laomapai. Those are expressions. And once you know who you are, that's why some people don't wear uhlalo, because it's not in that. But more way person you do because you need to be in alignment with who you are. So the more you wear it, the more you see it, the more you feel it, the more you be it. So that's why Miss Boy person is suffer because abaning bazo to Gogo mara wena this and that. Mina ngathi wasa 2010 isigwebo sami ngasigcina. Qala lami ngagcina ehlozini. Mara mekabuya lo muntu ongiphethe athi ngicela ubuyele emuva ukusikhumbuza because sometimes our ego takes over and our ego is edging God out. So when ego comes into play, I know Utabangpete will remind me. I never see my ancestors as punishers. I always see them as discipliners who put me back in order and in alignment. I never take what they do to me as isiqalekiso or kanti nifunani abogogo ngoba sengithwasile bafuna ukhule ngoba ukuthwasa kupheli. Uyephehlweni ngoba uyophehlwa uyophekwa uyohlinzwa uyohlelwa uhlelo lwakho nobuwena bakho. And once you're done, there'll be more growth points. Remember, the greater your calling, the greater the mountains you have to climb. The greater the calling, the deeper the pain, because that's going to shed off what no longer serves you for you to ascend to your greatest heights. Because I always say when we bap, it's a connecting energy. I never apologize for who I am. I never seek validation for who I am. So whether you are for me or against me, I'm for myself, and that's enough. Because we can never get to be, we can never get to be ourselves when we're still waiting. And remember, we evolve and we change all the time. We are never the same. By the time some of you, most of you, all of you, when you leave the space, you'll be at a different place in yourself. And discomfort is okay because it's saying to you how you've been doing things and how you have been showing up. It's stagnant. Something's got to give for something's got to come. But nothing can come from not letting go of what no longer serves you. And for those who get excited, it means it's a reminder to remain in spirit. Because when we're in spirit, we are able to be co-creators. We are not victims of our ancestors. We are not victims of our ancestors. We are actually co-creators with our ancestors. When they do things that they do to you to remind you of who you are, you said to them, remind me, whether that's a car accident, whether then your family calls you a witch. How great am I that you could see something I don't see of myself? I always say here, it all begins here. Because how you perceive, you project. And how you project determines your outcome. You know, the minute we can do away with a lot of negativity in African spirituality, we can return back to center. You know, clearly in Afrosavvy and your family, many can say, what are you doing? This is not done. That's what tradition tells us, because everything is cast in stone. But we are stagnant now because we cast things in stone and they stole the stones. But when we evolve and we become spiritual and we become present, it means we can't touch us. See what I mean? Because we need that, you know, I came because I believe in this concept. I don't have to believe or know you or, you know, I don't need to do those things. But I believe in the concept because it's about time we tell our stories. And let's stop criticizing one another about telling our stories. Because they cannot fit in boxes that have been created for us, that has enslaved us and suffocated us for decades and decades. It is time we stop and do things our way, and we will fall along the way. But let's get up, dust ourselves up, and get going. This is my gift, and I know there can only be one Gogo Dineo. Call me arrogant. I'm not. I'm proud of who I am. Because the minute I start running away from knowing who I am and wanting that the other people celebrate who I am, the more I'm attracting pests and pigs who want to play with me in the mud. I'm too clean for that. Don't drag yourself in the mud of conversations and toxicity that tells you your idea, your path, your way. Because many are called, because Africa needs to return back to its center. It's not fashion. If we make it fashionable, because the times are asking us to rewrite history that has programmed our people and created stereotypes about what we look like. Excuse you, me, we look good. And if looking good means taking a little bit of the now, and if you want to criticize why I'm wearing what I'm wearing and I'm not wearing my sangoma bais and this and that, this other woman said to me, I was wearing a dress, because most of you who know me, and rock it, slay it, it's in your lane. Own it, it is your throne. I don't like it. From Insasepefe. And I said to my Gobela, can I make dresses? Because I want to make it. I want to own it. I want to wear it. And every time I rocked up at the office, they're like, oh my God, and the beads go along with the outfit. Is there a way I can get this? And I'm like, I'm sure there's a way, but are you ready for that way? And is it your way? Because my way might not be your way. Are you feeling me? You know what I mean? And I know that my gift is not to sing. That's why Mkashwa can sing. That's why Mkanyagute can sing. And that's why Mkulu Blondie can sing, Mkulu Philip. But also in their singing, they've got the uniqueness. That their voices speaks to those who've been seeking for it for their own healing. So there's many who can speak, but there's none who can speak like me. And it is time we own those things. Because the minute we own ourselves and become proud of ourselves, we are called names. We are called arrogance. The minute I say I am unapologetic about my babes, I am called rude. Excuse you. I'm not indigested. I am not having gastric acid. I am not having heartburn. I am connecting to divinity. And I am channeling divine messages right now that might help this meeting move forward, because we start. You need my people right now. Uzi. Amangoma. Unengoma ukobela wami used to love to sing, say ukuthi ake ubheke lakho nami ngizobheke lami. There's nothing wrong to be inspired, but you can never be a master at a copycat. You cannot master anything if you're copying other people. And it's not about us being stingy, because you see there's a lot of negativity that surrounds us. Like if you say to Afrosavvy, yeah, I want to know how you do these things, I want you to mentor me. But mentor me, ichoguti uzoba itwasa, but abaningi asifuna ukuba amatwasa. Amatwasa amaningi ufuna ukungena ephosweni seka of Dineo and Spiwa, it doesn't work, and that's okay. And don't ask us why, because we look good together. It's because our spirits do magical work together. That's why, right? And what it becomes of it, it is not up to me, but it is up to divinity. And I've always said to him, your voice, because mina bekangishaye istulo ngivukela indlu zekhaya. And that's how my people showed up. And sometimes we want to hold on to history that we cannot really enjoy the present. We enjoy it, because I don't think if Mina and I we're still husband and wife who would be having this work be so magical and be so impactful. because you understand Guti, we are also teaching our people Guti, not to be together doesn't mean you have to be bitter together. Not being together doesn't mean you have to turn each other's back, because there's been life that you've lived together. What can you learn for the life ahead of these 4 kids that require 2 parents? Because we have to find a way, and it's an invitation of our wounds that were triggered by each other. Because nobody can wound you. The wound grows because you've allowed it, you've given it fertile soil. People trigger you into your pain and into your sorrow, and then you go back to your own self-pity, victimization. I say, take your part and take responsibility so you can never be a victim again. Yes. What was your part in it? In every single thing. And this is a message for those who are carrying scars, because let's not take away that some brutality is inexcusable. You know? Let's not take away what abantu are getting raped and it's inexcusable. And some people are treated like nothing and it's inexcusable. This is what I say. If you were sent where you were sent and you were led by your people, everything that happens there, it is meant to elevate you to your greatest, highest calling. If I sat here and I was bitter because Tina best Twasa, angisho sinjani, Tina best Twasa, nesithosa kamnandi, nina nithosa kamnandi, nithola amabheka, nithola ini. You understand? Moba nika amabheka abathi uyabaspoila, mongabanika amabheka uyaba-abuse asazi. Right? But we need to understand that I am not them and they're not me. And I cannot compare those journeys, because once we start to compare, we want to compete. And once we start to compete, we can never be enough, because you can never run a race with somebody else's ancestor, because they are paving it for them. See what I mean? Are you feeling me? Are you with me? Are you getting the gist of this? So here's the Sunday motivation on Saturday at Afrosavvy event. We want you to continue doing this magical, mystical work that our forefathers and great-grandmothers were unable to articulate, because history told them it's demonic. Colonization prisoned them for articulating and expressing and owning their identity, that it needed to be erased from Utsepiso to Peter to Banban to all of those things. And I say there's nothing wrong with those things, but if my name as Dineo gets demonized in appraisal of another person's name, then I have a problem with it. Yes. If ufuna ukholela kubanibani wakabanibani, it's fine, but do not dare demonize abangiphethe engihamba nabo babiza amagama. How dare do you call one of your own whose DNA and bloodline runs in your stream, that your breath is connected to them, as demons? What does that make you? No wonder we cannot progress, because we believe in it in us that we are demonic. Because everything that carries us, we see it as that. Tawazan. My message to those who are about to embark on their journey, ngapapi, ngajahi, yagela ukuba umgiti investigator. Uzofika kwami sikita kamnandi sifaka amabhayi sizingwenyama sophupha zona. Shut off the noise and go within. Because omunye ubona ugogo ngimthanda ngiyamfila yazi uyabona noma khuluma namathwasa wakhe gogo mawufika lapha uyothola uji ubonisa ezinye izinto ubonisa amaflame angisho or kanjani. You know what I'm saying? And if it was lakho uyakuthanda angeke lukuqalekise. They'll never send you to a place where the essence of who you are will be destroyed. It's your perception of what is going on that destroys the essence of who you are. You need to understand that as a Bangoma, we are deeply wounded, because we need to understand what it's like to be unwell and at ease, so we can have empathy when we create ease for others. No, I want you to write my book, because I'm good with speaking. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to understand wherever you were sent, whether bagrobile or whatever it was, it is a lesson to be learned. It is not a punishment to be enjoyed. Change your perception and change your projection. And once you change your projection, your outcome becomes different. Whatever and wherever and however it happened, It had to happen for you to awaken to the greatness that you are. And that greatness cannot awaken because you've got a great Gobela or you've got a great teacher or it's got by you taking responsibility and saying, why do I always have to kneeling? Because you are surrendering the egotistic self that's always eager to charge and defend and attack. But when you are on your knees, you become egoless and you surrender to the divine within you. That's why we kneel. When you are sleeping on the floor and not on the bed, it's so that you can remain grounded and connected to abaphansi, abalele. So uzovuka kanjani nethongo nemibono namaphupho if you are not connected to the ground. So maybe if you are not dreaming, try sleep on the floor and see what shifts for you. Right? I'm putting some things into context. We were not taught why things happen the way that they happen. Which why ngidla fast ephehlweni ngidla ngikijahile because isoja lihlala lihlomile. Impi ihlezi khona. And asinqobi impi yabathakathi sinqoba impi yengulo. Impi kuthi ekhaya nganwa. Impi kuthi ekhaya anshadi. Impi kuthi ekhaya nthola imisebenzi kuyimpi. So when you're eating fast, it's because you have no time to be lost in downtown memory when you ate your breakfast at Tasha's manje fanele udla umdoko wamabele. When you are eating quick, it's because you need to understand that you need to move on to the next thing, because that is not what this is about. There's something much more greater than just eating umdoko instead of having a full breakfast at Tasha's at that right moment. Nangizwa man. You know, when you saying ukuthi bathi asilali sivuke ekseni ephhlweni, the reason is that is one thing that is going to demonstrate to you your greatest ability, that you are not only this body, you are bigger than that. Because how do you make it? Because it says the body's gonna die and God's namapansi have to take over. Because if you continuously feed the flesh, it is the monster that grows. But if you continuously feed the spirit, it is the spirit that grows. So certain things that happen, noma bangakuchazelanga, noma uba bangakutshelanga, ngicela uyobuza bakini kungani. Impendulo yabo ingajula nokudlule yami. And you might understand ukuthi I came back and I was a much friendlier person because every time I had to kneel, something in me discharged or uncharged. Nangizwa man. So we need to understand those things, and we need to come to a time. So my last message is, we need to come to a time as Africans where we do not have to explain ourselves and why we do what we do. But I will not tire explaining it until it becomes like breath, that it is seamless. If it is my calling to explain and leave a legacy for uSiyabonga, ukuthi mekagide eklasini bamjabulele bangathi, what are you doing Siyabonga? What's wrong with you? Megafika ngesiphandla esikolweni bangamdiscriminate umntwana. Megathi uvula i-storybook abona umamakhe bathi Gogo Dineo was once upon a time. That's the legacy I'm leaving. We should do it. We should not tire. Let's continue. Don't fight it. Don't fight them. Don't be against anything. When you are against something, you are against negativity and it grows. But when you are for something, you are moving forward. Because against it pulls back, but for it moves us forward. So let's start moving things forward. So thank you so much for everybody who's attended. I'm not doing the vote of thanks anyway. But I want to say thank you to Afrosavvy. They've been asking for a documentary with me. And you need to understand, as pair to as his patanga, you know, because when things happen like that, when I'm documentary, because you need to understand that it is not just my intellect, but it is divine wisdom. I said good interview yesterday. Uba sangoma is not only about ingoma, nokugida, nokushama thambo, nokulapha, nokunyanga. But the key incremental part of why you are a sangoma is because you are invited to tap into inner divine wisdom that is going to be for the progression of our people. That's why many of us are called now. And it's not a phenomenon. It's been happening for years and years. It's just these times are asking us to say, me too. Me too. Yabana lama campaign. That's fine. It's me too. Sangoma. Me too. Who's a sangoma? Yeah? Me too. Put up your hand. Put up your hand. I want me for pants. Because the more we can do it and say it, the more we can normalize it. Because we need frame of references for our children. Spusiso needs a frame reference. Spusiso would not be Spusiso if Spusiso's mom and dad were not doing the things they were doing unapologetically so. I moved my son from a school. I said no to Afrikaans because my kids are not going to learn that. I don't see how that is for them. It's going to progress them. And if that's racist, it's impossible because I need architecture, I need strategy, I need resource. I don't have money to go around being racial, around saying no to certain things. So those are the small things we need to start doing for our kids. Those are the small things. If at mama I'm being teased, the next day go school I'll create it around. Set them straight. You understand? If it's smelling, hamofuna something is of deal and smell because it is what it is, right? Yes. So we need to do that. We are in this continent. We are Africans. We cannot continuously citizens Africans explain ourselves. And let me tell you something you didn't ask, or it's a question that I get asked. What is the different types of amantos? I'm not going to go into that. But I said the epiphany I had the other day, which why are we all now seemingly maybe there's some truth in the fashion stuff. Because they yeah, understand, yes. Who am I to judge him? So listen, because as Africans, as South Africans, we never see ourselves as Africans. As South Africa, we always believe we're a continent outside Africa. So the reason we are being reminded of Africans as that we are Africans, is a nomad, is a traveler of note, is one that went in search of knowledge, in search of information, in search of betterment, in search of greatness outside themselves. Because if you look at the Maasaians, they were nomads. They never stayed in one place. They moved from one place to another. Neither do we. Neither do we. So Isindao is reminding us, but I guess because umdawa akakhethi ukuthi umXhosa umpedi uthole barape nina zitshemiki zamaZulu yanele ulala Zulu kitha yini nje wena rezeli kasarena ukhulisa busa dibilo tsaseloko I happen to shoot kinga dona tsamaZulu abana le accumulation that is because we need to break away from that it's still in the Congo because I am a close now among I'm not eating nasiye leo you understand so it says enough about this tribalism because we need to understand I'm a close each clan and has young and a close so most likely most of the food which are still very young and a close that is one food is it? So most likely unjalo angisho it's like that that's why abanye abaningi baphuma bangathwasisi bangalaphi because ukuthwasa kwakho angisho inyanga yesebukhosini bakini uyonyanga bakini uyobheka bakini uyoconnecta bakini nento zakini so if awulazi ledlozi nokuthi uphethwa abobani uzohamba wenza i-curtain phase uzothwasa ka-20 ungaqedi uzoba yiphehlo hopa uzoguqula ningizweni ne yeah utoya komkhanya kutori hayi beka ngeke uyiqede but the minute you understand lalela bakuphethe ngeke bakulahlekise hola yilaba bakuphethe mebakutshela ukuye ephehlweni ukuthi why ufaka iwifi uyayithanda lokho kuhamba naye sothi thina singenaphi why ufaka i-lipstick anabheka ujabule kanjani ugogo wifi ujabule nokudumisana la khona uyithanda Yeah, understand that, because we need to understand that the less we judge, the more we become compassionate, the more we can unify, the more we can work together. Feeling when they came to the house and they did the things, and then when we had the song, the magic that was created, because you didn't put aside, you put aside all those things, but you understood that your gift is to heal us through your music, and the unity that was here, dial and perform. Why don't you like that was my line because I was meant to shine. It is my line because I was meant to shine. But the stars don't compete against each other. They understand that together they shine brighter and we can notice them. If it was just one star, we would not even notice that there's a star in the sky. In terms with those words, you found a provocation, you found an inspiration, you found an excitement. I give thanks, I give love and light for all the love you give me, for all the DMs I get, except for the dreams ones. I'm not going to interpret them. And one umuntu aseskupeni angibuze ukuthi baba manje ngifuna ukukhaya bathi ngenze njani. I'm not Jokobela. People need to understand those things. Mengithi I'm not Jokobela, angilaze la khidluza angilizalanga. So umuntu mengamzalanga ngeke ngize ngimrule, ngimnika ama rules nama principles ukuthi hamba uyenza so and so. You understand what I mean? The most likely chances, if everything is so bad and so wrong, there are two possibilities. One is you had your own expectation of what it was going to be. Two is that you've got your own woundedness, that you are so focused at the triggers that you are not learning the lessons you need to learn. Three, you are where you're not meant to be, because when I was hambela wathatha amabheke wangena bangashongo bagini ukuthi ungene lapha. I hope ukuthi with all the mistakes you will realign, you will be in line, you will stay in your lane, and you will slay in it.
Thank you, Gogo. Okay, so what we'd like to do before we wrap up